Before the mighty cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, there was another beginning. At the foot of the Kachi Plain, a quiet transformation was about to unfold. Here, nomadic hunters searched for survival in a harsh landscape. But from foraging hands came the first sparks of cultivation. Taming animals turned wild nature into lasting companionship. Mud and clay rose into shelters, marking the birth of settlement. With each seed cast into the earth, a new chapter of humanity began. Who were the first to settle the Indus Valley? And why did they choose this harsh land? It was here, at the edge of the Kachi Plain, that life began to change around 7000 BCE. From hunter-gatherers, they became the first farmers of South Asia. Animals once hunted were now brought into the village as companions and food.
Mud brick houses marked a new permanence on the land.
From earth and fire, they created pottery that stored their harvest. Society formed not in isolation, but in circles of fire and community. Religion took root beside farming, binding life and spirit together. Exchange connected households and laid foundations for future commerce. Mehrgarh was no small hamlet. It was growing into a true community. In 1974, André and Catherine Costantini uncovered Mehrgarh's secrets.
Together, they revealed one of humanity's earliest farming settlements.
Artifacts spoke of beliefs, survival, and transformation. What lay buried for millennia reshaped history itself. Today, Mehrgarh's treasures rest in museums, testaments to human ingenuity. Every grain planted here was a step toward urban civilization. Tools and ornaments together revealed a society both practical and spiritual. It became the bridge from the Neolithic age to the first South Asian cities. Mehrgarh's discovery revealed humanity's first steps into history.
Barley was one of the first crops to sustain Mehrgarh's people.
Wheat, too, was ground into flour, feeding families with bread. Goats and sheep were among the first animals domesticated here. Sheep gave both food and wool for early weaving. Cattle soon became sacred, sources of labor, milk, and ritual power.
They built sturdy mud brick houses, homes for growing families.
Storage rooms preserved grain against drought and famine.
Life was simple, yet filled with warmth and laughter. Elders guided the community, making choices for survival and harmony.
Pottery carried food, water, and culture into daily life. Craft was shared. Both men and women shaped the clay. Beads and ornaments became tokens of identity and beauty. Terracotta figurines hinted at beliefs tied to fertility and life.
Women worked at the heart of food production and survival. Even children's toys mirrored the sacred animals of their world.
Women also carried roles in ritual, binding the community's spirit.
Meals were shared, food binding families into community.
Skills were passed from elder to child, shaping each new generation.
From early on, girls learned the craft of weaving cloth.
Water was life, carried daily from streams to village homes.
Religion was woven into daily rhythm, not set apart. Markets turned surplus into community wealth and ties.
At day's end, families rested together under the vast desert sky. Daily life in Mehrgarh was simple, communal, and profoundly human.
Mehrgarh was among the first places to cultivate and spin cotton.
Threads of cotton began the world's earliest textile traditions.
From simple tools, they created fabric to clothe generations.
The world's first cotton cloth was born here in Mehrgarh.
Art emerged in painted vessels, geometric lines of beauty and order.
Through fire, clay became lasting vessels for storage and trade.
Stone tools still shaped life, sharp edges for work and hunt.
Here began experiments with copper, the dawn of metallurgy.
Tools of metal hinted at futures not yet imagined.
Even in innovation, pain and illness haunted daily life.
Mehrgarh's healers practiced dentistry as early as 5500 BCE.
Medicine here mixed skill with ritual, body with spirit.
Granaries stored life itself, food for seasons of want. Each sealed jar was security against hunger and drought. Even measurement emerged, a step toward complex trade. Barter linked crafts, food, and trust into a shared economy. Tools were refined, sharper, more durable with time.
They experimented with copper and tin, the first steps toward bronze. Mehrgarh's genius spanned farming, craft, medicine, and trade. Together, these people lit the path of civilization. Mehrgarh's achievements still astonish archaeologists today. These early innovations became the foundation of the Indus cities. From cotton seeds to copper sparks, Mehrgarh pioneered civilization.
The mother goddess stood as a symbol of fertility and life. Priestesses offered grain to ensure abundance and renewal.
Women played vital roles in the rituals of fertility and life.
Bowls were sacred symbols of strength and continuity.
Animals carried both material and spiritual meaning in Mehrgarh. The dead were honored with careful burials and offerings.
Graves were filled with pots and beads, gifts for the afterlife. Red ochre. One ochre marked the passage between life and death. Communal mourning tied the living to their ancestors. Simple stones became timeless markers of remembrance. Even children joined rituals, weaving innocence into faith. Fire united prayer, community, and the sacred world. Offerings of animals and food sought favor from unseen powers. Through ritual, they sought balance between life, death, and the divine. Belief bound their days with meaning, ensuring memory across time. For centuries, Mehrgarh thrived as a cradle of South Asian farming. But then the rains faltered, and the earth began to crack. Granaries once full, now stood barren and silent.
The rivers that gave life now ran dry.
Cattle grew thin. Herds dwindled under the weight of drought. Even the looms fell silent, cloth unfinished and abandoned. The potter's yard no longer sang with fire and craft. Faith could not hold back hunger or silence the despair.
Faith could not hold back hunger or silence the despair.
The once bustling streets grew eerily still. Elders gathered, weighing choices between despair and departure.
At last, they chose exile over extinction. Families packed their lives into simple bundles.
Children held onto symbols of home, even in exile. Even the herds were driven toward uncertain futures.
Artisans too left their tools behind, never to return. Sacred places fell silent, prayers unanswered.